If there's one thing I knew for sure, even before I watched this movie, I was going to like it more than The Nun.
Hello.
Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So yesterday I sat down and I watched the movie The Convent. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the trailer for this one, when I got it sent to me, I was kind of, I was going to do a review on it and then I decided not to, just because. But I'll tell you something. I was pleasantly surprised when I watched this movie, but you have to give it a chance, okay? So that's what I'm going to start this off with. So it's directed and partially written by Paul Hyatt. I think that's how you say his name. I did a little research on him, and I think this might be his directorial debut, but, and I'll get to this a little bit later, why this makes a big deal, but he worked on the makeup department for the movies Doomsday, which I absolutely loved, Attack the Block, which I absolutely loved, and The Descent, which, I mean, I think we all fucking love that movie. So, as far as I can tell, I think this might be his directorial debut. I might be wrong, but anyways, basically, the movie, it starts off, the main character, what's her name again? It's an oddball name, Persephone. Persephone. It's actually kind of a cool name, really. You don't hear it very often. But anyways, movie starts off, she's actually on trial being accused of being a witch, which we later find out she got accused of it because her parents' farm, this is back in 17th century England, by the way, her parents' farm, the barn caught on fire, and her mother was trapped inside and died, and for some reason they blamed Persephone, stating that she was a witch. So she went on trial, and Michael Ironside is in this movie. He's the magistrate in this flick. Now, he's only in this movie, he's like Lance Hendrickson now. He just kind of shows up in movies for like 2 or 3 minute cameos, so they can just put his name on the bill there, just to kind of make it look like a bigger movie than it actually is. But that's fine. I mean, I like Michael Ironside, so I'll take him in small doses if I can get him. I mean, he's a great actor. So, but anyways, he is condemning her to death, I believe, hanging. But then at the last minute, Claire Higgins, who plays the Reverend Mother, steps in and she starts throwing her weight around. Saying, I'll take this girl instead, and she can come with me to my convent, and she can live with us, and we'll get her back on the ways of believing in God or whatever she says. So Michael Ironside really can't do anything because about it, because the religious faction, back in this, they had all the power. So basically, she threatened him with getting other people involved. He said, fine, take her, and that's pretty much how the movie starts off. That's the first act, and kind of leading into the second act, she gets to this convent, and then we're introduced to a bunch of other, like nuns and sisters and stuff that live there. But, I mean, even as soon as she gets there, weird shit starts to happen. She has these visions of kind of demons and the devil and all sorts of stuff, just weird shit happening in her mind. So in the initial beginnings of this movie, you think maybe she is a witch, and being in this holy house, it's kind of she can't deal with it. But, and again, I don't want to give spoilers away, or like major spoilers in this movie, but he kind of does, like, okay, so this movie's not going to be for everyone. If I can just talk about the movie itself actually for a few seconds, it's not a movie that's going to be for everyone, and you have to be very forgiving, and you have to give it a chance. I'm just warning you now. You kind of have to just mull through this movie for the first half. You know what I mean? Because it's very slow, in the sense that it's just like, it's really trying to build a story here, and it's really trying to make you care about these sisters that are under the watch of this Reverend Mother. Okay, and it does a fairly good job, but it just goes about it in a very, very slow way. So you have to be forgiving. But he does throw in some, a few jump scares here and there, and there is some gore in the first half of this movie, just to kind of keep you enticed. Not a lot, but enough to say, okay, I'm not going to shut this off. I'll give it a chance. And I'm telling you, give it a chance. It's like, seriously, if you can make it to I think I looked at my timestamp on my laptop when I was watching this. I think it was right around the 50-minute mark, okay? And then something happens, all right? You get a background history of what's actually going on in this convent. And I'm telling you, I was sold from that portion on, okay? Because, like, and it shows what I was getting at earlier when I was listing the movies that this guy's, Paul Hyatt's been involved in, like The Descent, Attack the Block, maybe a little bit, Doomsday, but the gore in this movie, there is lots of gore in this movie when you eventually get to it. So, just to give you a little, there's decapitations, there's people literally pulling their eyeballs out of their head, there's more. I'm telling you, just kind of wade through the swamp here, you know what I mean, and kind of get involved in the story up until about the 50-minute mark, and then when you get a background history of what's going on from that point on, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I like this movie a lot more than I like The fucking Nun. The Nun treated you like you were a fucking 3-year-old, just trying to point everything out and just jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. This movie is actually quite creepy, and it's set, the entire thing, even in the daytime, is set in a very gray, kind of depressing tint, which really works because as soon as she gets to this convent, it's just they're trying to make you see the gloom that goes on in this place, because good things aren't happening here like they're supposed to be, you know what I mean? And the nuns and the sisters, like they're trying to get through this, and a lot of them are pretending that shit's not happening when it is, and it just all goes to hell, you know what I mean, at the halfway mark there. So, and it's acted really well. I got to tell you, man, like, I'm not going to list off everybody in this movie, but I mean, Hannah Arterton, who plays Persephone, Rosie Day, who plays Sister Emmeline, and Claire Higgins as the Reverend Mother. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, the acting is top notch, and it really did help this movie. Because again, the first half of this movie is fucking slow. I'm not even going to pull punches there. It is slow. But just the fact that it was acted so well, you know what I mean? It just helps you get through it. And then when you get to the halfway point and you get the backstory and all the fucking shit just goes bananas after the 50-minute mark, then it's actually pretty watchable. So, or not, the whole thing's watchable. I just mean it makes it more enjoyable if you're a horror fan and you like a lot of gore and just crazy stuff. And the good thing too is he kept a lot of it practical. I would probably say 90 to 95% of this movie, all the effects and the gore and everything, is practical, which is fantastic because it makes it that much more real, and you just want to invest in it. There is the very, very ending, which I won't spoil for you, but it's CGI'd a little bit and it does look kind of silly. I think they could have got away with making that practical too, but I don't know. They probably had a little bit of a budget, you know what I mean, and they wanted to spend it on some CGI. I wish they wouldn't have. They could have easily done it practically, but they didn't. And then stay tuned to the very end. At the very, very end, after the end credits, there's like a 2-second scene. You can pretty much see it coming at the end before, like pre-credits, I guess. But there is a post-credit scene that you can stick around for, I guess, for 2 seconds. But I don't know. Overall, I would give this movie probably a 6. You know what I mean? Maybe a 6.5. There's definitely a lot better movies of this style out there, but I mean, he does hit all the marks. And like I said, if you can wade through the swamp of a pretty slow movie, a well-acted movie though, don't get me wrong, it's well-acted, but it's fucking slow up to the first half. And then when you hit that 50-minute mark, then all hell breaks loose. And again, I guess it's a little beyond the halfway mark because this movie is only like an hour and 20 minutes, I think it is, or 25 minutes. So it's not super long either. So, which is good because it does keep it going as slow as it is in the first half. So hopefully that makes sense. But you'll see when you watch it. But I am definitely recommending that you see this. Especially if you like this style of movie, the kind of religious tones. And I mean, anytime you put nuns in fucking movies, it's going to be creepy. So I really did, enjoy this movie more than I thought I was going to. So, and don't let the trailer fool you. I know that the trailer is not the best. I actually watched it again before I sat down to do this, just to kind of refresh my memory, because I did watch 3 movies yesterday, so I wanted to just make sure I was in the Convent kind of state of mind before I talked about it. And yeah, the trailer is not the best. It's not edited the best, but trust me, you'll like this movie. So I'm rambling. The movie's called The Convent. Make sure you check it out. It's on video on demand now. It just came out last Friday, and it's on all platforms, so you'll have no problem finding it. If you have seen this one, let me know what you think. And if you haven't, go watch it and then come back here and let me know what you think about it. I'm just kind of curious. And if you have seen The Nun and then you watch this movie, tell me which one you liked more. I fucking hate The Nun so much. I despise that movie. It's so goddamn stupid. But this is a very pleasant substitute for that pile of shit. So anyways, Convent, it's out now. Let me know what you think. And until next time, guys, stay scared.